Well, it was exciting for us as it was to our crowd, because remember, we didn't just open a club and start playing house music. We had a following from '84, so good 6, 7, 8 years. You know, when we 3 years introducing the house music to them, and plus the radio station we was on, we had a big audience. You know, every Friday night. So it was exciting times. There was so much great music. The music quality as well. Music quality is great now for house music, but then, you know, it was just fresh. You know, 10 City. We had 10 City, you know, live on stage back in the early '90s at our club. I was going to say Paradise Garage. That wasn't ours.
It was our Paradise.
Yeah, at our Garage City. So it was exciting times, and the Americans, they led the way. You know, no doubt. Everyone else was following what they was doing. You know, you had the master work. Everyone would emulate and copy the drums. The singers would try to do what they're doing. So the Americans definitely led the way on that. Do you know what I mean? But we was just as good as DJs in terms of entertainment, because for me, you have to entertain. You know, it wasn't about really, technically, yeah, if it was good, if you could do that, but you still had to hold the dance floor. And, you know, they had the upfront tracks, because we was on the radio and we had exposure to the masses, we would get a lot of the upfront records anyway. Us, Paul Anderson, CJ McIntosh. There was a handful of London, UK guys who would get all the records up front as well. So we was on level with them musically, just not level, because they had some more exclusives, but yeah, it was good, exciting times then, and it still is. You know, we started with reggae when we was young, but in our house it was soul and disco. So when we started DJing in '84, it was just soul and a bit of go-go music, which was trendy then, or whatever. Then, you know, we never jumped ship on what we believed in, just our roots sort of thing. We kept on that. Early '84, we became friends with Norman J, and Norman he would always go to the music seminar in New York, and he had a cousin who lived over there. So he said, I'm going to take about 30 people over there. You had to pay for our own flight. It wasn't taking us over, but he said, look, I don't want to make it a big trip sort of thing. So it was just like friends. So we said, we'll go. Never been to New York before. And then, to be honest with you, we didn't know nothing about the Paradise Garage. We just went to New York. We went to all these cool parties for the seminar. We was introduced to all this, you know. And then he said, we're going to the Paradise Garage. We went to the Paradise Garage. Remember walking down that car park thing, the long walk. And then the dance floor, we were just going, wow, 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 wow. And then it must have been towards the end of the night. I think there was a roof terrace. We was upstairs. And we didn't even know we was on a roof terrace till the sun come up. And then we were just looking around.
We must have been sitting there for about 3 hours.
Just in awe of everything that was going on. And this is a true story. It's not like
Very
people,
true.
you know, cliches, old Paradise Garage talk about it, but we actually lived it for that night. And we give everything back to Norman J for us even to say, yeah, we had to say, yeah, but the invitation. And that was a turning point for us, because after that we went to Vinyl Mania.
Yeah, everyone used to basically go to Vinyl Mania straight from after the club when they used to hear the music. We found out afterwards, but vinyl, yeah. And everyone would go what Larry used to play. So we actually went there and had done a whole experience about it as well. You know, which is great. And we actually, you know, bought the records. And at the time, we was running the Club Zoo in Monkbridge and Shaftesbury Avenue, which is in the centre of London. And that was more focused on just disco, and some cool soul, but more disco on a Wednesday night, and once a month on a Friday. And we brought the tracks back, the Paradise Garage, you know, early garage, which is house, yeah. And we started to introduce it, and the crowd would just look at us. We'd look at the stage. Yeah, Groove had the groove, and it was like, because it was new to them. So we just kept all the time, just kept pumping it, and that was it. Next thing, 6 months later, it was just, the disco went down a bit, and then it was more the house. So that's how it comes we brought that sound back. Yeah, then we 1993, we was on Kiss FM for 12 years, when it was a legal station. And we started a night called Garage City, took the name from the Paradise Garage, and it was one of the biggest house nights. Ran for 3 years at the Coliseum, then it changed name. Podium, then it changed name to Coliseum.
We started at 250 Club, just round the side, for those who know London, round the side of Selfridges. Duke Street, it was a bar, held 250 people, and we'd have 1,000 people outside. Because it shut at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Venue, yeah.
So after about 6 months we was there, we went to another club in South London, which the Podium,
yeah.
And that was a 2,000 capacity.
We packed it out every single Saturday.
Yeah,
and we had everybody from, you name it, was there. Danny Tenagla, Eric Murillo, Louis, Kenny, every single person was on that stage.
So that one visit to New York, made us what we are today. Basically, it's about us garage.
Yeah, 51st State is our business partners festival. Michael Hughes, so big up to Michael Hughes. Three of us involved. That was his. He had his little dream he had many years ago to a festival, and a real house festival in London, and he put his he basically just went to work on it. Outside of all the stuff we was going on throughout the years, he was still just hitting away at it, and then he came up with the name, and the rest is history. And he's developed a festival which was London needed, a real house festival. You know, focuses on house music, real house, all the artists on one day, 5 tents, and it's just grown. It's the fifth year next year, and he's just created something so magical. People love house music and go to, and they should respect exactly what's going through and keep supporting it, because it's grown year on year on year.
Yeah, I mean, nothing against all the other genres, the techno and this and that. Music is music. But for us, being old cats, and like, you know, it was just important for someone to do it, and our partner came up with that. Do you know what I mean? And there is a disco 10, you know, and everything else, but it's all concentrating on the real, where house music really come from, you know, from disco, and there's a soul thing. So that, and to get 17,000 people in year 4, which will happen this year, was truly amazing. So yeah, it's a big deal. If you haven't been there, you need to come over.
Groove Odyssey now we've created a brand called GO, which is Go Ibiza, and it's the 3rd year next year. And it's, again, like the festival, it's growing and growing and growing. We thought we saw a gap in the market. We believe there was a gap in the market for what we do, our sound. 500 people we expected the first year. 400, we got 500. Next year we got 650. So next year we're looking sort of 800 to 1,000, which we'll get. The thing
is, this is people we're bringing over to Ibiza, because our festival, the weekender, is a week before the season starts. So we're not relying on people on the island. We're bringing people, do you know what I mean, who are flying out there just for our event, you know.
Yeah. And the main factors as well for Ibiza, you know, we know it's expensive for some, and we've made it affordable as well, because we do all-inclusive packages, and it's not just your middle of the road, it's sort of high-end. It's a high-end event. We still put invest a lot of money in the artists. So last year we had over 40 artists, of high caliber artists, all the names that you know. And we're just going to keep growing. We've got some good plans for even 2020, so can't reveal anything yet. But next year, it's on sale now, so go to grooveodyssey.com and put your deposit down.
I mean, we've done throughout the years, we've been DJing since 1984, and we've done numerous amount of compilations. We've never put ourselves down as being record producers, meaning that we've never done 20 or 10 singles in a 12-month period, ever. Not because we didn't want to, because we've always been so busy with other business tasks. We're not just DJs. Like I said, we've been promoting and DJing from when we started back in '84. So we can produce records, we can write songs. All the songs we have out, like, you know, generally I would start the chorus or get the singer in. Not that I'm a control freak, I just know what we like. So, but we'd always maybe do 2 singles a year, and 2019 is our 35th anniversary, so we thought it's about time we put together an album. So, you know, we started working. I mean, we're massive fans of Leroy Burgess, so we thought we'd get a track from Leroy. So we just started, the process started. And we've got a good collection. We've still got 3 tracks to finish off because we're a bit fussy. Do you know what I mean? So we've got 3 more records to finish off. We've got Dwayne Harding on the albums, Stephanie Cook, Gene Khan. A funny story, not a funny story, but a real interesting story is must have been about 4 or 5 months ago. I was at home just doing some drums on the machine. I thought, let me just get some drums up. I was up late. Yeah, I was up late one night after a club, and I just started doing some drums when I got home, and just left it there. And then I was on the phone to someone. I was just going through a folder. I thought, there's some drums I've done one night, because I had a drink and I forgot all about the drums. And when I opened the drums, I thought, this is bad slamming. So I played to him. I said, check out this. All it was just drums, and he said, I can hear Gene Khan like. Da, 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 da. Was that all it was? You can hear that horn section there. So we was working on 2 tracks with Nigel, and he's from the old school. So I said, Nigel, I'm thinking of doing this with Gene Khan horn section. What do you reckon? You can get this like horn bits. And he said, I've just recreated all the music for that last week. I said, you're joking. And he said, Gene Khan has re-sung the song. What happened was I went round his house, and within 4 days the song was done. So amazing, do you know what I mean? But we've got some great, Barbara Tucker's on the album as well. But we've got some, the album's going to be a good album. We're going to be proud of this album, even though it's not finished. Yeah, generally, I mean, we went old school. We like the rotary mixer. We play on Pioneers and crossfaders and everything else, but yeah, we're from the UE, the Bozak thing. We're sponsored by Bozak UK. So it's not even Bozak UK. He's got the brand. He's got the thing for the whole world. Yeah. So big shout out to Paul Moisey. So we use the rotary Bozak, which it's a copy of the original, the same setup as the original Bozak, but we've got the tabletop mixer now. Very comfortable on that, and 3 or 4 CDJs, and that's it really. Sometimes at EFX 1000, but we like to keep it not too technically, just nice and easy.
He played for us a couple of times in Terminals. He played for us, and we've always embraced him every time to see him. We used to go to New York seminar back in 93, 94, early days, and then Miami. The last time I actually saw him was in Miami at the National. He was sitting down behind the decks. We was in the VIP at the back, so he was over there with Louis and that. And Frankie, Kings of the House Party, National in Miami.
David was there, yeah.
And David and Frankie was sitting together, and Judy Weinstein, who's their manager, etc. And we're still in awe. We know the guys, but we're still like, wow, look, that's how much respect we have for these people. And Frankie was just like, he was just, I don't know what the word is to describe it, but just talking about it, he had this vibe about him where he was just a cool guy.
He had a presence, he had a smile, but you knew that if he smiled at you and he embraced you, you knew it was real. It wasn't no front thing, do you know what I mean? Whatever you saw, and the smile and then the embrace we gave you at the heart, everything was more than just real, he had the biggest heart, do you know what I mean? And that's what will be left in our memories of Frankie. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us, and respect to you guys, what you do.
Yeah, thank you. Don't forget, more information, check us out on grooveodyssey.com.
Go Ibiza next year, check the website.